What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over my watch list for the trading week of August 22nd, 2022. Let's get to it. Okay, so the catalyst for this week, the only thing that I saw was that the Fed is going to have a series of events on Thursday and Friday called the Jackson Hole Symposium. And during this time, Jerome Powell is supposed to be giving speeches where he'll talk about the direction of the monetary policy in the near term. So keep that in mind on Thursday and Friday, just in case you see the price action fluctuate. He's probably talking at that time, okay? With that, let's go ahead and take a look at this week's earnings calendar. All right, so this week's calendar has a mix of quite a few sectors. I see some retail, housing, banks, and some tech. But the big names that I'll be watching will include Nvidia, Salesforce, Snowflake, Dollar Tree, and Workday. All right, let's get started. All right, before we get started with the watch list, I wanted to point out something that I noticed on the indexes that I pay attention to. Now here's the SPY on the weekly chart, and you can see it formed a weekly candle called a shooting star, okay? And the same thing happened on the QQQ, shooting star, and on IWM, the Russell 2000 that tracks the small caps, shooting star. Now when you see a shooting star, it's normally at the top of a bullish run, and when it appears, it normally represents a trend change to bearish, okay? So keep that in mind this week. All right, so the first company we're going to look at is Nvidia, ticker symbol NVDA. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart, and Nvidia reports earnings after the market closes on Wednesday. So when it comes to the earnings, we know from companies like Microsoft that the video game industry is slowing down a bit. We also know that Nvidia has shifted some of their focus over to data centers, but companies may be slowing down their spending when it comes to that also. So it may be hard for Nvidia to replicate their sales numbers from a year ago, all right? But also remember, a couple of weeks ago, Nvidia did come out and lower their guidance, maybe to soften the blow when it comes to this earnings. But Walmart did the same thing. They ended up under-promising, and then when the numbers came out, they over-delivered, and it caused Walmart stock to run up. So that could happen with Nvidia also, so keep that in mind, okay? So the levels that we're looking at for this upcoming earnings, right now Nvidia is sitting around $178.50. If at the time of their earnings they're above $179, they need to hold that. And if it does, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $187.50. If he can get through that, the next level is going to be $195. Now, if they report bad earnings or the market is selling off and they cannot hold $179, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $171. If they can't hold that, $166. If they can't hold that, all the way down to $156, okay? So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is going to be Snowflake, ticker symbol SNOWW. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart, and they report earnings after the market closes on Wednesday. So what do we know about Snowflake? First thing I noticed is that this is not a profitable company. They're still losing money at this time. Second thing I noticed is that ever since they IPO'd, every single earning, they've missed the analyst expectation, okay? Third thing I noticed is that a lot of people like this company based on their senior management. The next thing I learned when I went into the volume profile is that a lot of people bought into this stock around the IPO price, okay, around $243. You can see it got as high as around $429. But right now it's sitting at around 154, so there's a lot of people upside down in this stock right now. Another thing I wanted to point out is that you can see recently a lot of people bought in around $142, $143. So keep this level in mind, around 143, if it does sell off. Now going back to the weekly chart, zooming in a little bit, I want to show you that a few weeks back it sold off all the way down to around $110.25. But the following week, it ran all the way back up to $150. So you can see a lot of people do like this stock, and don't be surprised if it sells off, if it runs right back up again, okay? So here are the levels that I'm going to be watching. Like I said, it's sitting around $154. If at the time of their earnings they are above $154, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $161.50. If it can get through that, the next level is around $170. Now, if they report bad earnings and they cannot stay above $154, the first level that I'm looking for to test is all the way down to around $132. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is Dollar Tree, ticker symbol DLTR. Here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. A couple of things about Dollar Tree. It's a profitable company and they often beat on earnings. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you is this bullish run. Remember, this is the weekly chart, so each one of these candles is a week, and just look at this nice run it had all the way to its all-time high of around $177. And you see the candlestick formation that we have here? It's a shooting star. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. When you have a bullish run and you see a shooting star at the top, it could indicate a trend change, and that's exactly what happened right here. It sold off for 4 weeks, and you can see on the 5th week the shorts got a hold of it, and it went from around $163 all the way down to $124. That next week they had earnings and they beat, and it started to run up, and in the process of it running up, it forced all of these shorts to cover, and it did a squeeze all the way up to around $167. Okay, so make sure you put this shooting star candle in your notes, because when you see it, it could indicate a trend change. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the earnings this upcoming week. Right now, Dollar Tree is sitting around $168. So when their earnings come around, the first level we want to see it hold is $167.50. If it can hold that, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $174.25. If it can get through that, I'm looking for it to break its all-time high to around $180. Okay, now if they have bad earnings and they cannot hold $167.50, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $166. Now if I go to the volume profile, you can see between $177 and $133, pretty much all the way down to around $120. There's not too many buyers in this range, but we did have some buyers around this area up to around $133. So if they have bad earnings and the market is selling off, I wouldn't be surprised if this fell all the way down here. So keep this one on your watch list and let's see what happens. Okay, so the last one I want to look at is Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. Now here I have it pulled up on the weekly chart. Now when Netflix sold off from its April's earnings, it created this gap right here. And over the last 2 weeks, we've tested the bottom of this gap a couple times, but it's been rejected. And that's around $250. Now right now, Netflix is sitting at $241 and it moves around $9 a day. So it's possible that it could test this level this upcoming week. So the levels that I'm watching for this one, if the market is bullish and Netflix can hold this $238.50 level, I'm looking for it to run up and test the bottom of this gap at $250. Now, if the market is bearish and Netflix cannot hold $238.50, I'm looking for it to drop down to around $228.50. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. And that is the end of the video. If you found value, please smash that like button and consider subscribing. Here's wishing you a prosperous week of trading. And until next week, talk to you later.